Hi, welcome back to the Newbie Sax School. My name is Simon Curry and we're going to do a daily practice routine for you. Okay, so this is more of an informal style of video. I haven't got the flash background. I've just put my camera up and got my good mic out, and I've got a piano here we can do stuff with. So I'm going to go through with you a daily practice routine. Now it's really tough for people that are just starting to play saxophone. There's so much information out there about how to play, what to do, what you should be doing, and it's very difficult to kind of get a routine going because there's so much information get hit to you. When I started about 40 years ago, there wasn't that kind of level of information that you could gain from the internet, which is there now. So I've learnt the hard way on how to play and how to practice, and the things that I've done over the years and years of playing. And this is a routine I'm going to take through with you now. Now, the sound is all to do with the muscles around your mouth. If you imagine you're just holding a brick at a distance like that, and this weight there, and after a while it's quite light, but after about 5 minutes, 4 minutes, depends how strong you are, it starts to get heavier and heavier and you start burning there. And that's exactly the same as your lip muscles. You've got to build your strength up, and that's what gives you the really quality sound, is being able to suspend that reed at that particular point without getting tired in your mouth. Now obviously I've been playing many years, so I've got a lot of strength built up in my muscles in my mouth, and there's no easy way. It is just no pain no gain. So you've just really got to try your hardest and do some long notes to start off with. Now long notes are incredibly boring. I've got a way of minimizing that boredom for you, and I'm going to take you through the long note practice routine I've got. So each daily practice, you've got a routine, you've got a bit of a warm up. So I suggest we do some scales to warm up. And then we do our long notes little section, maybe 5 minutes of long notes, and I'm going to take that through there with you. Then I'll give you some pieces to do, or a section where you can go and do some pieces. Obviously everybody that's going to be looking at this video is not going to be the same standard, so I'm just going to teach the principle of the sections you have. So this little section, you'll go off and you'll do some constructive pieces, whether that be grade 8 standard or grade 1 standard, whichever you want to do. So that's your kind of technical side. Now the thing about it is to start slow and build the speed up of any of the pieces you do. So say you've got a particular piece that's got lots and lots of notes in, it's really hard, but there's one section that's easy. You don't practice the easy section, you just practice all the hard bits around it. And then we'll take you to the end, which is just the end bit, which is just have fun, put a blues scale on, and the trick about improvising is to have nice speaker setup. So speakers can be nice and loud, and you can play along to, or even use your earphones. The only thing about earphones is it gives you a little bit of a buzz in your head with your saxophone sound, so your sound isn't quite as true. It won't affect your sound, it's just that you can't appreciate it. But it depends if you've got neighbours. So I'm going to take you through the first section about the muscles. So as I said, we've got a brick, you're suspending it, and we're going to try and build these muscles up. So our first little section is going to be on the long notes. So we're going to start with a G. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to use hot air. And that's a section I've got on how to get a good sound like a pro. So we're going to do the long notes. We'll start quiet and we're going to get louder and louder. And at the loudest point, we're going to go to our next note up. I'm going to use a C major scale, but I'm going to start from G. G is always a good start. So we're going to go G, A. And as you hear at the end, I got to my loudest point and transferred this note from G to A, and at the end I dwindled as long as I could. Now you mustn't overdo it. Stop before you start to hurt there. It's not a competition. You just want to stay within your capabilities of your airways. So that's the G to A. So I'll do A to B. Okay, that's your A to B. Now I'm going to jump a little bit ahead. Now the tricky bit is going across the break from the C to the D. So that's C with your middle finger, and the D is just 6 fingers down with your thumb. And if you need to know how to do these fingerings, nip into the interactive fingering chart and just watch the video for D. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, then join the Newbury Sax School members area. So here we go, C to D. So that's a C to D. Now the trick about that is to make your C sound as good as your previous note, the A and the G, and make your D sound as open as you can. Now a good trick I find is when you're doing these long notes, look out the window and have a look and imagine your air is being hot as you possibly can. You're pushing down your stomach, you're pushing out on your stomach, down and out, and hot air. So you're breathing like you're defrosting the car windscreen. Sound, and your throat is in an open position. So if I talk with an open position like this, I sound silly, but my throat is open. So that's kind of more of a chest voice, open. And when you blow, so you want hot air, and look out the window and imagine your air is pushing against the window, or even pushing towards, say you're looking at a bird or a car, push your air towards that. And what happens is that then you're fully using your diaphragm. So move on up as high as you can with those notes. Don't particularly time yourself, but when you feel that you've done a bit and you're doing it right, then move on to the next section. Also, you can jump, so best to start on a G to A always, and then if you want to jump ahead, because you usually stop before you get to the top D, start on a top D, or do your G to A first and then jump to top C or top D. And it's all about throat shape. You're trying to get your air across the reed as fast as you can. So make your throat and your tongue into a particular shape, so there's lots of air. It's actually more, now I think about it, it's more your tongue. Get your tongue in a kind of shape that pushes the air across the reed fast. Which is very, very hard to demonstrate because you can't see it in my mouth. But it is just long notes practice. Okay, so you've gone through your long notes section. So that's 5 minutes. You've got warm up for 5 minutes, have a little, do a few scales, just general scales. Now we're going to come to finger speed. Now finger speed is a big one because it's all about doing the same thing round and round and round and round. It's like climbing a ladder with the rungs at different lengths, and you're not allowed to look at the rungs when you run up and down the ladder. So you should be running up and down. So we're going to go through an easy one and a hard one. So it depends on what stage you are. If you're grade 1 or you're grade 8 or you're a semi-professional, this is the same routine. Take one phrase and start with it slow. So I'm just going to go through a beginner one. So I'm going to go let's think, a B, A, G, F sharp, E. So it's B for one finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, middle finger there, and the E. And just get the hang of that and make that really, really even. So now the key thing about this exercise with your routine, with your trying to build the speed up of your technique, is to use a metronome. Now, here I've got one on my iPad, free downloadable thing. I'm going to set it to 100. I'm going to do crotchets. I'm going to do quavers. Semi-quavers. Now, as you can hear, I built the speed up and I tried it completely legato, not tonguing, and also I added a tongue at the start of each beat. So now that's kind of an easy beginner one. Okay, I've got a harder one now for you more intermediate players. It's based on the D major scale, 2 octaves. Now it's a steps, so you start on the E D, F sharp E, G F sharp, A G, B A, C sharp B, E D, and you carry on up. And the last step from the B to a D. So it's and metronome set at 100. So that's a bit of an exercise for you to have a go at. Basically get a group of notes and playing them round and round and round with the metronome, and then build the speed up so you can make up your own exercises. A good one is an arpeggio. This is for beginners, C arpeggio. For more of an intermediate player, you could do an F minor 2 octaves. And build the speed up. So it's entirely up to you. You could also want to make it a bit more jazzy. You could do a lick, for instance. So that kind of thing, you build your fingers up and build your speeds up. Now we've done our technical side. Now we go to our pieces. I'll let you go off and do your own piece, and whichever one you're working at the moment, go and spend about 15 minutes doing that. And then when you've done that, then it's you've done all your kind of your embouchure, your technique, and your kind of study, as it were. It's a type of study. And then you've got the real just fun section. Now the fun section you can spend as long as you like, as long as you've done your technical stuff first and go through your fun section. Pick out a blues scale, put a backing track on. Always go for something that's quite nice and easy for you to play, and also think about something you'd like to do, then put it into your technical exercise. Say you want to play on a B pentatonic scale and you haven't learnt a B pentatonic scale before. So put that into your technical exercises to start off with. Get a nice little backing track for later on, for have some fun with it once you get better at it. And if you do this thing, if you do this practice routine every day, you soon build up a momentum. And what happens is you get better and better and better on a slow basis. From day to day, you won't notice any difference. But then you'll find that in a week's time or a week and a half's time, you've made a big progress, but you don't realize it because all the steps are so small. And the key is to enjoy everything you do at the time. Enjoy it because you're doing it for fun. Don't ever think about, I'm going to do this because I'm going to be the greatest saxophone player in the world, because you've got a long way to go to get there. You've got to enjoy doing it all your life. So enjoy doing it now. The question I get asked by lots of players is, how long is it before I'm going to be good? The answer is, you'll never ever feel as though you're good enough to be good. Even somebody like me that's been playing 100 years, I'm quite accomplished in my career, and I still don't feel as though I'm good enough, because I know there are people that are better out there, and you've just got to be happy where you are and do your thing and enjoy it. Okay, so that's your practice session. Now that's going to be a daily thing. Remember, it's got to be daily. Every other day is okay. Once a week, you're just going to stay at the same level. You need to be practicing every day, ideally. Okay, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.